It all began like every royal headline we've ever seen, quiet at first, just a whisper in the dark corners of the internet. A leak, a rumor, a source close to the situation. But by midnight, it wasn't a whisper anymore. It was everywhere. Unseen footage, Meghan Markle, her ex-husband Giuliano, and the wedding the world was never supposed to see. The first clip surfaced on a small gossip forum, timestamped, raw and shaky, as if filmed by trembling hands. Laughter echoed through a candlelit room. Meghan, glowing in an ivory gown, looked nothing like the polished, picture-perfect woman we know today. No filters, no editing, just the unguarded Meghan. And then it happened. Within an hour, the video spread like wildfire across YouTube and TikTok. Real wedding footage, screamed thumbnails. Leaked tape of Meghan's first marriage. Comment sections erupted. Some viewers called it beautiful, a lost moment of love. Others said it looked staged. But one frame changed everything. At exactly 3:12, Meghan turns to someone off camera, her voice trembling. "Stop filming. This isn't part of the story." Then the screen cuts to black. By morning, Giuliano himself stepped out of his New York studio and confirmed the unthinkable. "Yes," he told reporters, "it's real, and I'm releasing the full version." The world froze. A private wedding buried deep in the past was suddenly reborn, not as a memory, but as a reckoning. Insiders say Meghan was devastated. One source described her locking herself in her dressing room for hours, unable to speak, whispering over and over. He promised he'd never show it. Public opinion shattered into two camps. Some called Joe a monster, a man using heartbreak as revenge. Others said Meghan was the one hiding something, because this wasn't just a wedding tape. It was a secret, a glimpse of a past she had carefully rewritten before she became a Duchess. As hashtags exploded, one phrase began trending worldwide. Number, the forgotten wedding. No palace statements, no legal action, just silence. Until a second clip appeared, showing a moment that sent chills through millions of viewers. At the altar, Meghan's smile faltered. Joe leaned in. She whispered something no one could quite hear. And then, the internet noticed a faint shadow behind them, a second camera filming from a distance. The question wasn't why Joe released it, it was who else had been filming all along. By dawn, the footage had become a global obsession, slowed down, stabilized, analyzed, frame by frame like a crime scene. Every flicker of Meghan's eyes, every tremor in her voice, every mysterious blur in the background was scrutinized. Entertainment outlets ran with it. The second camera theory, Meghan's first wedding, the clip she never wanted you to see. Even networks that once protected her image aired the footage in primetime. They paused, rewound, zoomed. The altar looked small, intimate, no royal splendor, no Hollywood gloss, just two people under twinkling fairy lights. But at the 23-minute mark, everything changed. The officiant smiled. Joe held her hands. The guests laughed softly. Then Meghan's head turned straight toward the lens. Her practiced smile froze. Her eyes widened. Her lips moved barely. Online lip readers went into overdrive. Some claimed she mouthed, "Don't record this." Others swore it looked like he's watching. Then static, laughter, cut to black. Within hours, number unseen vows was trending across the world. Conspiracy accounts posted venue blueprints, floor plans, and maps. Someone even uploaded a digitally enhanced version revealing a blurred figure at the edge of the aisle holding a camera identical to one used by Meghan's old publicist, Clara Michaels, back in her Toronto days. Giuliano stayed silent. He didn't need to say a word. His silence was the statement. Meanwhile, paparazzi swarmed Meghan's Montecito gates. She hadn't been seen since the leak. One insider claimed she was sobbing uncontrollably. She said it wasn't the wedding people think it was, the source said. Something else was going on that day. Suddenly, this wasn't just a scandal. It was history. The prequel to the fairy tale, the woman before the crown, before the palace, before the carefully built image. And then, eagle-eyed viewers spotted something chilling. In one frame, just for a second, a hand enters the screen, slender, manicured, wearing a gold bracelet. It adjusts Meghan's veil. Not Joe's hand, not hers, someone else's. At first, fans thought it was a random guest, but internet detectives pounced. They enhanced the image, compared jewelry, color-graded the footage, and found the match. The bracelet was unique Cartier gold with a small diamond clasp, the same one worn for years by Clara Michaels, Meghan's former publicist, the woman who built her early Hollywood image. The discovery set tabloids ablaze. What was Clara doing inside Meghan's private wedding? Reporters dug into archives and found emails from 2010. Clara had represented a handful of rising actors transitioning into lifestyle branding. One of those names, Meghan Markle. Sources described Clara as ruthless, brilliant, obsessed with optics. She didn't manage careers, a former assistant said on a podcast. She created them, and Meghan was her biggest project. So when viewers spotted Clara's bracelet in the leaked footage, the internet went feral. Had Meghan's first marriage been part of something bigger, the second camera theory suddenly made sense. This wasn't a home video, it was a production. You could even see it, Clara blurred in the corner, whispering softly, "Stand closer to the light, smile like you mean it." And then came the moment that broke hearts. Meghan, her smile, faltering, murmurs under her breath, "This isn't what I wanted." Joe, oblivious, laughs beside her. To him, it was love. To her, maybe a rehearsal. The internet erupted. Clara's name became toxic. She deleted every account she had. Her PR firm released one lifeless statement. Clara Michaels has not represented Meghan Markle in over a decade. Any implication of manipulation is categorically false, but the damage was irreversible. Old clips of Meghan resurfaced. Every interview, every carefully placed quote, every knowing smile, all reanalyzed through a darker lens. Was it genuine or just strategy? Still, through all the noise, one question cut through the chaos: where was Meghan's heart in all of this? Because as viewers rewatched the footage, slowing it down frame by frame, they noticed something devastatingly human. Right after Clara's faint whisper fades, Joe can be heard saying gently, "We don't need an audience, Meg." And Meghan replies, soft and broken, "You'll understand someday." It was the first crack in the fairy tale, the moment where love met image and only one survived. The so-called second camera footage didn't even come from Joe. It surfaced days later, uploaded anonymously to a shadowy archive under one eerie title, Before the Vows. For the first time, the world saw everything that happened before Meghan walked down that aisle. No soft smiles, no fairy lights, no royal polish. Just a woman pacing barefoot across a dim hotel suite, her hands trembling, her reflection flickering in a makeup mirror. "You're fine," a calm voice says in the background, firm, commanding. "It's Clara." Was Marcus connected to her later royal circle? Was he the mysterious investor Joe hinted about? Was the wedding itself staged for his approval? Speculation became hysteria. Within hours of Joe's upload, the royal PR machine snapped awake fast, surgical, invisible. A new statement appeared through the usual sources, private footage taken out of context, but no one bought it. Too many people had heard the same things: Meghan whispering Marcus, the balcony conversation, the confession caught on film. Meanwhile, Clara Michaels vanished, her phone off, her offices empty. Her website wiped overnight like someone had erased her existence. Then, 72 hours later, she reappeared briefly, posting a 3-second video clip to her private account. No caption, no context. Just an audio waveform with Meghan's voice saying, "You told me he'd be there." 3 seconds, and the entire internet detonated. Audio engineers confirmed it matched Meghan's voice, perfectly recorded minutes before she walked down the aisle. Suddenly, the mystery wasn't just who Marcus was, it was who Clara was answering to. Because if Clara wasn't working for Meghan, who was she working for? The tabloids went nuclear. One called it the call that rewrote the fairy tale. But the nightmare wasn't over, not for Meghan and not for Joe. Insiders said Joe was shaken. He didn't expect destruction, one friend said quietly. He just wanted truth. But destruction had already arrived. Helicopters hovered over Montecito, blackout curtains went up, friends unfollowed her online. Even old colleagues scrubbed interviews that mentioned her name. A royal biographer summed it up perfectly. When someone builds an empire on image, one unedited frame can collapse the whole kingdom. Then came the leak that made everything worse. An email chain allegedly between Meghan's assistant and a crisis PR firm. Subject line: Containment Protocol Phase 1 failed. One line in the body read, "Clara didn't comply." Proceed with alternate statement. Deny connection. Emphasize emotional distress. The world gasped. This wasn't a scandal anymore. It was a cover-up fighting itself. And through it all, Meghan stayed silent. No post. No appearance. No denial. Just silence. Until another file appeared. Marcus call 2011. The recording began with static. Then Clara's voice. "He's confirmed attendance. Smile when you see him, but not too much." Meghan's voice followed, nervous, soft. "What if Joe notices?" Clara answered coldly, "He won't. He's not the audience." Then a male voice entered, faintly British, not royal, but confident. "If she handles this naturally, I'll make the call. London wants discretion." The silence that followed felt like the world holding its breath. When experts confirmed the male voice matched Marcus, the internet erupted. If that recording was real, it tied everything together: the wedding, the deal, the later royal connection. Commentators called it the missing link, the bridge between Meghan's Hollywood rise and her royal destiny. By now, every headline screamed the same thing: the call that broke the Duchess. And somewhere in the chaos, sometime after midnight, Joe's phone rang. An unknown number, he answered. A trembling voice whispered, "Joe, please." It was her. He hadn't heard that tone in years. The one she used when words were breaking faster than her composure. She said quietly, "I didn't mean for it to go this far. It wasn't supposed to." Joe cut her off, bitter but broken. "You said that before the night I found the contracts, the lists, the introductions." Her breath hitched. "Those weren't, they were me. You were networking your way out of us," he said. Silence. Then Meghan whispered through tears, "He promised it would be real this time." Joe's voice cracked. "Who? Marcus?" A pause. Then, barely audible, "All of them." She confessed everything: the deal, the PR manipulation, the unseen contracts, the reality behind the love story. "I didn't want to lose him," she said. "But they told me I couldn't have both. Love was the barter of cost of access," Joe whispered. "And you paid it." She sobbed. "I thought it would stop once I made it, once I had a name. But it never stops. You just become the product." Her final words broke the world's heart. "If I disappear, tell them I wasn't evil, just empty." Then the line went dead. Joe later admitted in a private note that he'd recorded that call not to expose her, but to remember how the truth sounds when it hurts. When that note leaked, one line echoed across the world: "Not evil, just empty." For the first time, the mockery stopped. The world didn't hate her, it pitied her. 3 days later, paparazzi caught her stepping out of a discreet Malibu clinic, eyes swollen, her mother beside her. No entourage, no crown, just a woman stripped of everything. They called it the breakdown of the Duchess. But it wasn't a breakdown, it was the aftermath of pretending too long. And as the sun set that evening, Joe posted one final line on his blog. She was always chasing freedom, but never noticed the cage was gilded. The post went viral instantly. Thousands of comments poured in, some cruel, others heartbreakingly kind. Because beneath all the scandal and spectacle, people finally saw it for what it was, a love story destroyed by ambition. That night, Joe received a small package. Inside, a flash drive. No sender, just a handwritten note. For the truth, not the fame. The drive held one short clip: Meghan in his old t-shirt, laughing in their kitchen, burning toast while singing off-key. No scripts, no makeup, no cameras, just her. He never shared it. He locked it away. Because even in the messiest stories, some pieces deserve to stay untouched. And maybe, just maybe, that was the last real piece of her the world would ever see.